Hello, hello. Sorry about the difficulties there. So we're just going to wait for a few more people to jump on. We'll just go through some sounds while that's happening. All right, so good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where in the world you are. So we have the Argon8 here connected, running Ableton Live, using the Live to run the ModalApp. So you have a shot of what is happening on the synth is happening in real time on the plugin. So as I manipulate, say, the filter cutoff, you see what's happening in real time here. So this will give you a better graphical understanding of what's happening. Answering any questions anyone has. We're going to go through some sounds, probably just some sound design, kind of just going to flow with whatever questions pop up. So ask away in the comments. I'm doing my best to keep track of those. And we'll still wait for a few more people to join in, and we'll go from there. So all of these sounds that you are hearing will soon be available. These are some custom patches we're working on, but these will soon be available. And any sounds that we create will be available as well. So we'll collect these and distribute them probably through the Modal website. But yeah, all these patches will be available. So I'll talk about actually this patch in particular, and one of the useful features on the Argon8. You have a sequencer built in to the synth, but there's also a parameter sequencer called the Animator, and you can have 4 parameters assigned to whatever you want. Anything on the panel can be modulated by the Animator. So what I did with this one, I made kind of a utility style sequence or animation rather for parameters, and I call it slop. So the sequence is ever so slightly changing the pitch, the fine-tuned pitch of oscillator 1. And just as it plays back and interpolates between the different points, it gives you this kind of analog drifting, what they call slop. So that is a little trick to the Animator that you can use to kind of make any sound fatter, if you will, without having to use LFOs, or so that can just be an animation sequence. Yes, and I'm seeing the link. I'm really sorry about the link, guys. Apparently, we were having issues with the mixer we were using, and that link expired after I left to kind of reboot the phone. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we are good. Knock on wood. Yeah. This patch is it's simple, but it's really really powerful. And what's happening is we're using the mod envelope to control the oscillator mod, so like the cross mod, or in this case it's phase modulation, and also the shape of oscillator 1. So as it goes up, it gets a little bit more complex in harmonics. And then, of course, the filter is opening and closing with that as well. Just a really nice classic wavetable type sound. Yes, there are built-in effects. Let's show you here. So three effects built in. There's 3 effect slots. So I can choose between chorus, phaser, flanger, tremolo, a lo-fi effect, different types of delays, and a reverb. And so I can choose one effect type for each slot. Like, for instance, you can't have 3 reverbs on all 3 effect slots. And then you have your depth control, and there's parameters for each of the effects. There's also distortion built in. Actually, a really nice distortion. This patch in particular is using it. Just let's go kind of extreme on that. Bring the reverb down a bit. Oops, that might be a little bit much, but you get the idea. But yes, 3 effect slots, and those can be modulated in the mod matrix. So, for instance, a nice little trick to also fatten sounds up. Let's just go to like an init patch here. I can say on effect slot 1, let's just put a delay. A delay will increase the mix a bit, and I want to modulate the delay time with an LFO to make it kind of wobbly. So I can go here. I can pick LFO from my modulation sources. I can go to effects 1B in this instance, and I'll put it up so it's a little bit dramatic. And you'll hear. Let's go make it a little bit brighter of a waveform. We'll go to a sawtooth wave. So just using the an LFO to modulate the depth of the delay is a great sound design trick, and that's so that was a little bit extreme, arguably, and that is just one oscillator. No, we're not using the spread because there's also, you can detune each of the oscillators can be spread, so you can pull them out. I think there's 8 total, so I can turn up the spread a bit, so I'm getting more of like that super saw kind of timbre, while I have the LFO controlling the delay. We have not even used the second oscillator, actually, at this point. So let's do like let's bring our mix up. Let's pick a wavetable, and let's just scroll through and see if we can find something that would complement that, that sawtooth for oscillator 1. I think that sounds kind of nice. Now we have a second LFO, so we have LFO2, and let's do let's put a little bit of a different pitch control. So LFO2 as the source, and let's go to tune 2 for the destination, and let's just have this free running. I'm gonna just slow the rate down a bit. Let's make it really dramatic so we can hear what's happening. It's like instant sci-fi tension noise right there. Okay, great. And our rate is pretty slow there, so yeah, a little bit faster. Let's bring the depth down a bit. Okay, a little bit happening, and then we'll mix it back with the original sawtooth. Yeah, somebody's asking, is it good for bass sounds? Absolutely. Wavetables on bass are really spectacular. This pad is actually worth saving, so we're going to hit save here. Let's call this live pad. So there we go. Soon to be yours. Okay, let's find some. Find some bass sounds. This patch in particular actually has the XY control assigned to different parameters. So I've got it assigned to distortion, glide, attack, and so as you move the XY parameter or joystick around, you actually have like multiple bass sounds within one patch. Yeah, so I'd say wavetable personally would be is my go-to for bass. So it sounds excellent. Somebody's asking about the filter. Oh, the filter types. Yeah. So you have different filter types. So there's 4 different filter modes that are classic, notch, and standard. Standard notch, classic, and classic notch. And just different ways that the resonance responds with between the classic and the standard. Not that one is any better than the other, but they're just different. So, but you have it's a morphable filter, so you can start with a low pass and move through band pass and move through into a high pass filter. So it's variable in that sense. So we'll go to another init sound, and we'll just do some filter sweeps with some like say a sawtooth. I just switched from the classic to the from the standard to the classic model, which, if I can say, is personally my favorite. It reminds me most of like an SEM, like an Oberheim 2-pole style filter. It sounds really lovely. This is actually for sure my favorite digital filter on, or any filter on any synth. My favorite filter, just that classic one. It sounds really lovely. Sounds amazing. Thank you, Mike, for correcting me. 4 oscillators per voice. So each of the oscillators has 4 oscillators stacked behind it. So as you use this spread feature, they start to detune. So I'll go ahead and do that. You'll hear me change the spread so you can get a sense of what it does to the sound. What's the resolution on the filter knob? That's a good question. I don't know the technical answer to that. I can tell you it is really smooth and there is no audible stepping. Let's try it. Yeah, I think that sounds really good. And this was just in a knit patch here. So, all right, so yeah, filters. Appreciate the comments. All right, we'll go through some more sounds. So in this patch in particular, on the XY pad, when I go down, I have that attached or routed to the spread feature, so the sound gets wider with going down on the mod wheel or the XY controller. And then aftertouch to the filter as well. Try LFO to the spread and listen to the magic. All right, let's do it. Let's go to, I have spread Y. Let's just replace that with an LFO. All right. what is the sample rate and where did it go? The sample rate and the bit depth of this synth. That is a good question. I do not know the answer. I'm sure somebody in the comments can say, but excellent question. This patch in particular, I'm using an LFO, a square wave LFO, sunk to clock, and it's mapped to one of the wave tables. So that's what is giving it that stepping sound. And then while that's happening, you have the mod envelope controlling the oscillator mod, which is sync, which gives it that zippy, rising pitch, and then a quick decay. Yes, I am running. A question is, are you running the editor inside of Live? Yes, I'm running this as an audio unit plugin right now. So, and there's real-time communication between the plugin and the Argon, the actual hardware synth. So you can also design patches here. I say here inside of the DAW, and save them directly on the synth. You also, any patches that you are working on, and you do be careful with this, but any patches that you are working on can be saved within your DAW as well. So if you have a session and you save it and you don't particularly save it on the synth, it will be there. But yeah, we're using this. How many outputs? Stereo output, left and right. And because we're using this as an audio unit plugin right now, we can automate parameters. I know you're definitely not going to be able to see this on the stream, but here, like in Ableton Live, for instance, I can touch any parameter on the synth, and I get that parameter to show up on the actual plugin down here with my devices, and so then that shows up then in my automation. So if I wanted to automate these things or do much more advanced sound design or really kind of impossible things, or draw your own LFOs or use Max for Live LFOs. It's literally endless that you could have. If 2 LFOs and 3 envelopes isn't enough for you on the synth, you can just route those things, point additional MIDI-based LFOs and effects at the Argon and do it that way as well. So just really, really powerful. Can you split the keyboard? No. No, it is monotimbral. So it's just one patch, one patch at a time. So it's just playing one sound. So no splits. That's a great point, James. That you also have with the animator or the sequencer here for animation. You basically have 4 more LFOs that can be as complex as you want them or as simple as you want them. So excellent point. You basically can use these like loopable envelopes or LFOs. So yes, great point. Thank you. I'll go back again to this utility slop plugin. I have one for Oscillator 1 and one for, oh, nope, it's not on this unit. But I have made them for, like, one for Oscillator 1 slop, one just for Oscillator 2, or both of them, together. And so what you'll see, I'll hit play in the sequencer. You'll see the lights going. And then when that's happening, you'll hear the difference with this slop using the animator. Okay, Charles. So well, it can't do everything, right? Does it do carpless strong? Can we do replicate that with like a delay time to key track? Possibly. I haven't tried that. No, it's not. It's not an FM synth. It is a wavetable synth and ultimately a subtractive synthesizer. So different different animal entirely. So not to say there is you can do some FM like in the sense of cross modulation between two oscillators, but not FM in the maybe the classical sense of using operators and that type of sound design. Let's try delay time to key track and see what happens. So key track, we cannot do delay time to the key track. So that's an interesting feature request, and noted. I think that would be that could lead to some very interesting sonic possibilities. Oh yeah, and about doing some kind of wave sequencing. Yeah, excellent. So we could definitely use the Animator for that. So went to an init patch. Let's pull up a wavetable, not like a virtual analog. Let's take something from the 002. And let's go to a new, well, anyone. We'll just init the sequence here. And we'll send it to, we'll go, let's see, go to wave 1. And let's get it playing, and we'll just start drawing in. I believe we had a little hiccup with the internet. Sorry about that.